What is going on, folk? It's NimbleThor here, and earlier this week, in fact just a few days ago, it finally happened. The 2D fantasy MMORPG MapleStory M, MapleStory Mobile, has now globally released both on Android and iOS. Now, I already played this game back in the beta, back in January or February in 2018, but it's now globally out, so I figured I would notify you guys about that, and also just take a second peek at the game, see what has changed since then, how the game holds up, all that good stuff, and we're gonna get into all of that throughout this video. So just sit back, relax, and I hope you'll enjoy the video, guys. So if you want to play it for yourself, you can go download it right now. I've left the download links, as I always do, in the description box down below. It's out, as I said, both on Android and iOS, but just be aware that there's a 1.4 gigabyte additional patch that you have to download after installing the game. At least we do have a small minigame we can play while we wait, and the wait time wasn't that big for me. Obviously, it depends on your download speed, but the upload speed from the MapleStory servers seemed to be very, very fast, because I downloaded the patch in no time, honestly. It took less than 10 minutes, I think, even though that was 1.4 gigabytes in size. This time around, by the way, I tried something different, as I went with the wizard class called Bishop, and I'm really loving it so far. It's really strong, as you guys can see. Right now, I'm playing with the auto mode, the auto questing mode, because yes, we have auto systems in here, and I'll get into all of that good stuff very, very soon. But I'm playing with the Bishop character, and it's actually surprisingly good at surviving with the auto mode on, even though it is a wizard, so it doesn't have that much HP, but it has a very high damage output. I did notice, though, that we don't have that very many skills, but maybe that's actually the advantage of this character, in that the main attack is just so strong, and then we have passive skills, such as something that increases the defense of the character, and that's of course really useful when you're in auto mode. And we also use potions automatically, by the way, so there's lots of auto stuff in this game. But there is still a certain appeal to the game. It's super high quality. Many of you guys have probably played MapleStory back when it was a PC game, and there's lots of nostalgia going on around this game. So I think that's why this game is still so popular, and why I'm very sure that it will become very, very popular now that it is globally released on mobile as well. I played MapleStory back in the PC gaming days as well, so that's why I'm so fond of the game. I'm so fond of covering it. But I can't look away from the potential downsides, which are the auto systems. So let's talk about the auto systems. I personally use autoplay right now for this video here, because it makes it a bit easier to talk about the game meanwhile. And I use it to complete quests, which is what we're doing right now. And quests is really all you're gonna be doing for at least for the beginning of the game. You're gonna level up very, very quickly. We're level 21 already. I was level 16 only just 20 minutes ago or so. So we're leveling really, really fast. I like the auto system because it allows us to move automatically to where we want to be. But once we get to where we want to be and where we want to defeat these monsters, whatever the quest is about, I would prefer turning off the auto mode, because the AI or the bot that controls our character when we attack is really not very clever. So we'll waste a lot of HP potions, because we'll be spending too many of them, because the character won't be moving away from the monsters. It'll just be standing still and attacking as long as there are monsters, and then it'll sort of move around. And I'll get to show you guys that, because right now we have to go and collect Charm of the Undead, it seems. We have to collect 25 of them, but it is very useful to be able to quickly get to the area where we have to be. So it looks like these are the guys we have to kill. Should be fairly simple. So let's turn off the auto quest and go into manual mode here. So as you guys can see right now, we're in manual mode. I can move from side to side. The joystick works quite okay, but if we move enough to one side, sometimes the joystick kind of slips away, and I feel like that's something that could be optimized. There's a bit of optimization there, but that is of course to be expected, although I will say the game has been in beta for a very long time, so I don't see why that hasn't been fixed just yet. This is the full global release after all, so I actually would expect that to have been fixed at this point. It could be calibrated a little bit, but guys, if you have played the game, do let me know what you think about the control setup in the comment section down below. Apart from completing these quests here with the auto mode on or with the auto mode off, we also have different types of dungeons. So let's go in and have a look at that right now. We have dungeons over here, as you guys can see. We can tap up here, and we have daily dungeons and elite dungeons unlocked right now. Very soon, we're also going to unlock the mini dungeons. And there are more types of dungeons, as you guys can see, as we level up. And even some of them are coming soon. As you guys can see, the Monster Mashers dungeon. So, for example, we can go into the daily dungeon, and as the name kind of implies, we have 3 tries in this dungeon here every single day, and it's a new boss monster that we have to defeat every day. We have some different difficulty levels, so it's a pretty standard dungeon system, basically, in an MMORPG. And this is where we can get some of the stuff we need. As you guys can see, we're gonna get some jewels if we defeat this guy. But we can't defeat him just yet because our player attack is only 53 and the recommended is 150. So we do still have to level up quite a bit, even though we unlock it already at level 15 or so. I think it's level 15. We can't really go in there and defeat the bosses in there before, I would guess, maybe around level 30, maybe level 40 or so. but they're there, and I'm really looking forward to getting into those later on. But apart from the auto quest, as I kind of briefly mentioned in the beginning, we also have a complete auto mode. So let me just show you guys that right now. If we tap down here, you guys can see that we have 2 hours of complete auto mode, auto battle that we can turn on, and we get that for free every single day. So 2 hours every single day, and then we can use premium currency to buy more of this auto mode. So what that means is that it doesn't really make the game pay to win, at least not directly, but indirectly it kinda does, because it means that if you pay money, you can basically be grinding 24/7, which obviously you wouldn't be able to as a free user, and if you do that, you're gonna get much more gold, you're gonna get much more of the stuff you need to succeed in the game. So in that way, I guess it is kinda pay to win. But with that said though, you can still absolutely grind your way to everything. Except for the cosmetics. Most of the monetization has to do with the cosmetics, apart from the autoplay, of course, and those you do have to buy for real life money. So if we go in here, we can have a look at the cash shop. So you guys can see these are all the different things we can buy for real life money. There's some chests in here which will give us rare equipment. So that is another way that the game, of course, does become a tiny bit pay to win, although we do get some of these free chests as a free player every single day as well. So what's the conclusion on this game going to be then? Well, I would say, I believe some of you guys will actually enjoy it. I believe some of you guys will not like the idea of the auto system, and neither do I, but I think some of you guys will enjoy it. But at the same time, I want to say that it is a very grindy game. The level cap currently is 150, so it's definitely going to take some time to get to that level. And even when you do, you can start creating new characters. You can have different characters on the same account, and you can share the bank space, so you can like transfer stuff to and from these different characters. I've heard that there's a guy who is the 60th best player right now, and he hasn't spent any money on the game so far. I find that quite impressive, and it gives me some hope that the game might not be too pay to win. There are so many systems that we haven't gotten into in this video, but I don't want to make it too long though. But one thing I do want to show you is the different skills that we have available on our characters. So right now we have the main energy bolt here that we're using all the time. We have teleport, which we haven't really upgraded because I've mostly been using the auto mode just to complete quests so far. We have a magic guard, which is going to convert a portion of the incoming damage to MP, very useful when you're a wizard and you use a lot of MP. And then we have magic armor over here, which I've already maxed out. Then at level 30 though, we're gonna get access to some new ones. And I'm looking forward to, for example, this holy arrow here, fire sacred arrows at multiple enemies. We're gonna get access to that at level 30, and we get some skill points whenever we level up, so we can use them on whatever skills we want to, basically. There are many more things. There is, of course, the different challenges, the tasks, the quests. There is the forge system over here. I want to show you guys that real quick. So if we go in here, we can level up our equipment, such as, for example, if we go into, what do we want to do? Let's say we want to enhance. So let's select this one, and we can enhance by spending some of the gold. There's a certain chance that it's going to succeed, so let's stop this star here in the middle. Yes, there we go. Hopefully it gets to 3, yes, plus 3 now. Awesome, so it became even stronger, this wand here that we're using on our character right now. So those are just some of the many systems that you guys should go have a look at if you want to play the game for yourselves. But now for the fact of the day, because I have an awesome one here. The record for the most people playing the same game simultaneously at one location is actually only 1,080 people. Just think about that. Like, in the future, if this channel keeps growing, we might actually be able to beat that record. I find it quite impressive that it's only 1,000 people. And by the way, the record-holding game that was played when this record was made was the MOBA called Honor of Kings, which is what's known as Arena of Valor, by the way. It's one of the biggest MOBAs out there. That's the game that 1,000 people were playing at the same time. So how about we beat that one day, guys? I will, I'll do an event if we ever get that big, if the channel ever becomes that big that we can gather more than 1,000 people in one place. Don't see that happening in the immediate future, but if we do get there, I promise you guys, we will try to beat that record together. So for now though, guys, leave a like so we can actually grow the channel. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to tell your friends about the channel, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.